Hey Flosstubers, it's Lisa Smith from Kindred Stitcher. This is my second YouTube video and I'm happy to see you again. So I thought I would talk about a little bit about what's new since the last time we spoke about a month ago. Work's been busy, but I've still been stitching. My husband and I over Easter weekend went to a place called Solduk Springs. That's S-O-L-D-U-K Springs on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington, and it was amazing. We were completely unplugged from the world. No TV, no internet. We went out to the hot springs and soaked with a bunch of strangers. We hiked up to some falls, saw the nature of the Olympic forest, and it was beautiful. It was Easter Sunday. I didn't really expect that I had booked Easter Sunday, but that was all right. We came back and I did some more work, but got some stitching done while I was there as well. I wanted to share a few things with you. There are over 1,600 views on my first video, and I cannot thank you enough. 457 subscribers. Some shout outs: Tracy P., Yvonne the Night Owl Stitcher, and Case Cross Stitch shouted out from my video, so thank you very much. Very encouraging and exciting. I'm addicted to Flosstube. I want to say a shout out to Bendy Stitchy. She moved from Hawaii to Oregon, and I'm from Oregon, so I have a soft spot for that. Beck Island, I love her little, little pin cushions. Everything she makes is just adorable, perfect. As well as Elizabeth Andres. They're like, she's the queen of all Christmas cross stitch ornaments, along with Yvonne. And then Little House, Yellow House Crafts. So my sister and I both fell in love with you. We were just like, oh my God, you need to be a part of our family. Be a stitcher in our family. And then Leslie LaFleur. So she is hosting the Mirabilia Retreat that I'm flying out to tomorrow. And I cannot wait to go and meet the friends that I made last year. I had a blast. And it's a whole group of people who just adore Mirabilia designs. So I'm very excited for that. And so I need to get my stitch on. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a travel story. I used to travel at my job about every other week. I was on the road. And one week I was coming back from Phoenix, and we had been in meetings all week. It was an evening flight. I would usually pick the aisle. I'm a tall person. There's a gal next to me, and you know, in an airplane, when you're on the tarmac, they don't usually run the air conditioning until you get in the air. So we had delay, and the plane was just absolutely packed. There was not one empty space. It was hot. It was muggy. There's kid crying in the background. We hung out for quite a while until we finally got in the air. And that was the time in my life when I just started having hot flashes all the time. So like, I'd go supernova. I would just be ripping all my clothes off. You know, I'm dying, and then I'm freezing, so I'm putting all my clothes back on. So I go through this whole routine for like a 3-hour flight where clothes are off, clothes are on, shoes are off, shoes are on. Just kind of, you know, the murmur of people in the background. It's hot in there. We finally land in Seattle, and the gal next to me, who's about my size, she's in the middle seat. She looks at me. She looks at the floor. She looks at me again. She says, I'm missing a shoe. Do you see a shoe over there? So I look down. I look at her. I look down again. I got one of my shoes on, and I got one of her shoes on. And her shoe fits me perfect. Like, I did not know that I had her shoe on my foot. And I turned 50 Shades of Red, and I was just like all over myself apologizing because I'm wearing her shoe. She's really nice. We had a great laugh over it, but my goal tomorrow is to end up with my shoes when I get off the plane. Lots of travel stories. I'll tell you some other time. Some FFOs and some FOs I want to share with you today. Some whips, and then I think after the retreat this weekend, I'll do another video and I'll show you some stuff that we saw at the retreat. So last time we met, I was working on Brenda Gervais, her Autumn's Fruitful Labor, and I got it done, and I got it framed. And this is like a little jewel. I mean, it's like you dug through your great-grandma's jewelry box and you found a ring that's delicate and dainty and filigreed and It is just a little treasure. No mats, nothing crazy. It looks like a little bit of a LED glare here. I'm going to turn this lamp away. But look at that little frame. Isn't that adorable? My mom helped pick that out. I'm going to go back. I'm sorry my lighting's not any better. This is on 40 count, Picture This Plus fresco. And, oh my gosh. This is just sweetness. It's just sweetness. I love it. Yep, it's a keeper. So there was a frame shop down where my sister lives that had a sale. It was like one thing framed is 20%, two things is 30%, and three things is 40%. And you know me, I gotta have a sale, so I went for 40%. So I've got two more FFOs. And this is the next one. I think I showed you this one last time. This is Gypsy by Mirabilia. And I didn't have any mats done on her either. And the reason is the fabric is gorgeous. And the last thing I wanted is to take away from the fabric and the stitched piece. So I'm just going to show you the frame. It's very pretty and delicate, and it really frames her in nicely. It picks up the golds, the threads, the beads, and all the goods and goodies that are on her. And the fabric is just, it's awesome. Awesome. She's nice. She's really big. It's a pretty good size piece, and I think that was another reason why I don't want to mat it, because it was going to be too big. So there's my second FFO. And so the third one, I'm going to put this down, is one of the, I think it's a Dimensions kit. It's like spring, summer, winter, and fall. And this is, I love this one because when you stitch it and you back stitch it, there's little like motifs within the piece. And I thought, well, you know, when I framed this, I thought, well, maybe a red frame with a blue mat was what I was going for. And we were back there pulling stuff off the wall, trying this out, trying that out. And what I landed on was a blue frame with a red mat. And I'm just going to stand back and show you this one, this little beauty. And I would say that this is not necessarily the colors of my house, but this is definitely seasonally summer, and I would put it out for the summer. It would be a lot of fun. You could decorate around that. But this frame is just, I love this frame. Look at that. How fun is that? Doesn't this make you want to be at the beach eating a tomato while you're camping out, looking at sunflowers, singing the Star Spangled Banner, thinking of a cruise? Yeah. This one's a lot of fun to stitch. I had the Christmas one done too. I did stitch that one on the called for fabric with the threads that are included in the kits. My Christmas one though is, I went a little less expensive. I picked a frame that was ready made and just had them mat it. So that's that. That was the third FFO. Let's see. So the whips. So the other one, I showed you some pieces that I was going to start. One was Jeanette Douglas's Vintage Birds. And I think I've got the, hold on just a second. Oh, yep, found it. So Jeanette Douglas, Vintage Birds, right? And this one I stitched on the other half of the Picture This Plus fresco 40 count that I used on the Brenda Jervis piece. So this one I started, and I could have put it down until I finished it. And look at this. Oops. Oh, please. One moment. Sorry. Dun, da, da. This was a blast. I stitched this sucker from beginning to end, and in 2 weeks I was one and done. Didn't pick anything else up in the meantime. Every little piece of this is just so much fun to stitch. So the peacock, that's all I think they're Smyrna stitches. And you can pull it tighter, but I want to say the thread goes up and down like 16 times. So if I would have tried to pull it and create that little opening in the middle of that stitch, I don't know what would have happened because this fabric is just too small of a weave. Too many threads per inch for that to have worked. That, or maybe I just need to work on my stitch a little bit more. So that one I need to finish. I'm gonna try and frame that one myself. I'm not sure. It is, it's awesome. And my sister's already told me she's gonna steal it, so I'm gonna have to hide it from her. So from there, I went to my to my whips, and really I have 2 whips going right now. I have the linens and threads. What's this called? Mystery sampler, right? I did a little bit more, but I really need to get caught up. That's why I don't do sales, because I always feel the pressure to have to keep up. I did get like this band done all the way to the end, and I'll fill that in. I'll do this, fill these 2 pieces, and then there's another April piece that people are like doing crazy things. Just awesomely beautiful deviations from the pattern. Somebody inserted some scissors with some thread. Somebody else inserted the alphabet. A lot of cool things. So I'm going to have to rethink my strategy and maybe borrow some of those ideas. Then I did start Sabrina. This is a conversion for my niece. She's going to be a bride. And I tried it out. This is fantasy dyed fabric. It's a 32 count Joblin. I started it, right? Just a smidge, not a lot. It's hard to see. But this color, so where the black is right here on the dress, all those black, I'm gonna go ahead and stitch like a pink. But the pink that I had chosen was too dark. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is a colorway. There we go, the substitutions. And this will be kind of on the bottom of the dress where she has her ruffle, will be a gradient of these colors. And this one is going to be the black on the dress. And this, in real life, it's kind of hard to see it on video. In real life, this is a very pale pink. Super pink, super pale, and it should be very subtle in the design, so it won't scream at you. It's more of a bride look, in my opinion. Those are the ones that I have going right now. I have also the Brenda Jervis Heap on the Wood. That one I showed you last time. I got the threads for that, so I'm going to start that after I get going on the bride. And then also the Jenny Bean's Christmas sampler I showed you last time. That one I've got the threads for too. So that's that. I had someone ask me to look at the craft room that I have, and you can kind of see some of the stuff I have back here, some of the stuff I have back here. So I thought I would just pull this out gently and see if I could show you the craft room. Okay, I thought it would just be easier. I just picked up my recorder and just showed you what I got going on here in my craft room. So in my craft room, this is where I was recording right here, and I've got some shelves full of little goods here. Just places to store your stuff. I've got, this is a cross stitch I did a really long time ago, probably 15 years ago. I need to reframe it. There's my Mill Hill beads and all my Mirabilias. All kinds of like pictures stuck in places. This is my little Christmas tree for my craft room. This is what I made at a Crabapple Hill retreat one time. That was fun. One of the things we made leaving the retreat. And then this is, I made that Christmas little cat a long time ago. I think I sold the pattern for that. I own a lot of these. This is Michelle Palmer. She's a pen and ink artist on Etsy. And I just put this on some crushed velvet that I bought from the Dames of the Needle. It might be just regular velvet. And I bought a white frame. No, it was a regular frame from Hobby Lobby. And I spray painted it white. I just mounted it in there. There's all kinds of stuff. I made this little purse a long time ago. And that pin on the outside is a pin that was my grandmother's. It was fun. fun to make that. This used to be a gunsmith business, and so these cabinets were kind of a dirty, I don't even know what color it was, but now they're an aqua color that I painted them, much more girly. I love it. I like little cubby holes to put things, little tchotchkes. So this is where I sit. Sometimes I work from home. I'll sit here. This is where I store all my littles. Right, all my goods. And there's Best Press on it. You'd be ecstatic if you saw that. Just extra stuff. Some painting for my painting. I do paint. Scrapbooking stuff. There's lots of storage in here. I am I'm a fabric hoarder, so I'm gonna, sorry for the slow walk here, but yeah, that's my fabric stash for cross stitching. A couple of bins of that. What else? Sometimes I watch chick flicks out here when I'm stitching. Oh, my son's Legos from when my niece and nephew come to visit. Couch. This is kind of a cool thing here. This was a shadow box. I think the gunsmith used to have like old ammunition there. I just threw all kinds of things in here. Odds and ends, and it just keeps growing. More and more stuff gets shoved in there. This is where I store my thread. I might come up a little bit closer. I don't do very well with the video, but I have some thread up in here. There's a top piece to that. And I got this at Costco. Last year, I think. So I have little dividers that I made and put in there. And then you just can put, I could probably put more thread in here. Oh, that's pretty full. I think I've got like Whisper in here and I don't know, odds and ends. Needles. Yeah. So that's how I store my thread when I'm not when I don't have it in a bobbin container. Here's some patterns, some magazines, my rocking chair, more boxes of patterns, my sewing machine. I have a baby lock, my Crabapple Hill patterns, more patterns. I'm kind of a hoarder. And then my kids' scrapbooking stuff from when they were in school. It's just easier to keep it all in one spot. So that's my craft room. On my next video, I hope to share with you what I saw at the mirror retreat. Oh, there's my needle binders too. I love y'all and thank you very much for watching my videos, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know if you have some feedback. Have a good day. Bye.